Hey, it's Dr. J here from PhysioX, and this is an introduction to core exercises while we talk about breathing. So what does breathing have to do with our core? Well, everything. Breathing has everything to do with our core. Now, when we do traditional core exercises like planks, sit-ups, or any of the more traditional exercises that you might have done in the past, you're most likely not using the deep core muscles that's going to help stabilize the spine. What you're most likely using are the six-pack muscles in the front. These are the ones that you can see, and these are the ones you can feel easily. All you got to do is just go and just kind of brace yourself, and what you'll find that your ab muscles will bulge out. This one is very apparent, very easy to feel. But the core muscles that we're looking for is actually the one that's going to actually come inwards towards our spine to stabilize us. So how do we train this muscle? This muscle actually, in one way, is easy to train. In one way, is very hard to train. One way is easy to train is because it comes on automatically when we take a really, really long exhale. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to lift my shirt up. If I take a really long exhale, just watch what happens to my stomach here. I'll go, what's going to happen is like these ribs, they will start to rotate down and come towards this way. My belly button is going to go towards my spine. And I'm essentially getting skinnier as I'm exhaling. And at the very, very end of my exhale, I'm going to feel some contraction on these side abs over here. And it's going to feel like I'm getting some contraction in the lower abs over here with the exhale. And that's pretty much your deep core muscle. Now, sounds easy, but it's really not easy to get. And these are very common mistakes that I see people make. So if I'm here and I exhale, people would actually force this effect. So they would go, and they would go squeeze their abs, and you watch my belly, it will start to bulge out. Those are not the same muscles you want. So if I'm going like this, I'm going, and I'm bulging out over here. See, if I bulge out, I'm almost arching my back to shove everything out. So this is not what you want. You don't want like a bulge out. We should be getting skinnier. Like so. Okay? So this is something you can practice throughout the day when you're just sitting, standing, it doesn't matter. Just getting yourself to understand those muscles, and they have to come in at the long exhale. That's going to be very useful. And a lot of us do not take long exhales. A lot of us are overstressed. We're living in a life, in a society in which we just hyperventilate. We just sit on a desk and we never really get a chance to do a full exhale. So we end up with a big barrel chest. Our ribs are very flared up. And what's going to happen is our ribs are really flared up and they can't depress down. We end up sitting more erect and we're getting our back a bit more tight. So, I mean, that's a whole nother journey, but that just proves the point of how important it is to actually take this long exhale to get our core to work. So start by just practicing your exhalation. Then you do it in different positions. One position that I want everyone to master is the cat position. Now, everyone knows what the cat-cow is. Most people would go down here and they'll do something like this. That's okay, we're moving superficially, but what if we can go a little bit more nuanced, a little bit deeper? What if we can go right here? So you start here, you want your hips above your knees, you want your shoulder above your wrist. You don't want to let yourself sag, so spread your shoulder blades apart. Think about pushing this part toward the ceiling. So when you're here, you should feel like there's a flat surface across your middle back that you can even put like a dish of food on there. And then from here, you're gonna take a nice long exhale. As you exhale, same thing. Your ribs gonna rotate down and come in. Your belly button's gonna get towards your spine. And eventually your back will start to round or tuck automatically because of how much you're exhaling. So that's very different from just forcing this to happen. I want this to happen from the exhalation, from the breath. And then when you inhale, you can inhale through your nose. And exhale again. So when you're inhaling, you want to maintain that tucked in position, that you want to maintain these side abs muscles on as you're inhaling. And just know that when you're trying to do that with your inhale, you're not going to be able to inhale nearly as much as you would if you were to just let everything go and you just go. So you're not going to get these big full inhales. You're going to get a lot smaller inhales if you're able to keep these guys on. So that is the essence of core training. Start with these very simple techniques, understand them, feel it in your body, and then from there we can start to add layers on top of them when we're doing other exercises. So now every single exercise that you do will become a core exercise.